Hey there, this video is to show you how to make the Jelly Bean Octopus. So this cute little octopus is a completely no-sew project and works up really quickly. I've used Hobbii Honey Bunny yarn for my example here in pink, and I'm going to use the Hobbii Honey Bunny again today in turquoise. I also have a small amount of medium worsted weight yarn just for the little bit of eye detailing there. In addition to the yarn, we also need our crochet hook. So I'm using an H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter. I have my 10 millimeter safety eyes here. Feel free to embroider the eyes on if you prefer. And I also have my sewing needle, scissors, stitch markers, and a little bit of stuffing. So before we get started, if you'd like to follow along with a written pattern, once this video becomes public, I will have a free version available on my blog. And there will be a paid version available on Etsy and Ravelry as well. So I will link everything below for you. And while you're watching the video, if you'd like to adjust the playback speed, go to the cog in the upper right corner and just click it, and the drop-down menu will have an option for adjust playback speed. So click that, and then you can speed it up or slow it down, whatever your preference is. And don't forget, you can also pause to take a break or to get caught up. And that's about it. So let's get started. So we're going to start with the head and body of the octopus. And to do that, we're going to create a magic ring. So if you're not comfortable with making magic rings, especially with like a chenille style yarn, that's okay. Go ahead and chain 2 and then place all your stitches from round 1 in the second chain from the hook. So the only trick I really have for making magic rings with this kind of yarn is just to make everything really loose for the first round. So round 1, we're going to start by placing 6 single crochets in our magic ring. Okay, and let's close that up. Go, and don't forget to add your stitch marker in the last stitch of your round. Okay, on to round 2. Round 2 is going to be an increase round, so we're going to go from having 6 stitches up to 12 stitches. And to do that, we want to place 2 single crochet stitches in each stitch around. So round 3 will also be an increase round. This time we're going to go from having 12 stitches up to 18. And to do that, we want to place 1 single crochet stitch in the next stitch and then 2 in the stitch after that. And we'll repeat that 6 times around. So again, single crochet in your next stitch, and then place 2 single crochets or increase in the stitch after that, and repeat that another 5 times, so 6 times in total. Okay, on to round 4. So for the next 4 rounds, rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7, you're going to single crochet in each stitch around. So you're not going to increase or decrease, you're just going to place one single crochet in each stitch around. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I will come back here for the beginning of round 8. Okay, so here I am ready to start round 8. So again, rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7 were all straight rounds where you're single crocheting in each stitch. So for round 8, we're going to do a decrease round, and we're going to go from having 18 stitches down to 15. And to do that, we're going to single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches and then do a single crochet decrease. And we'll repeat that 3 times. So again, single crochet in the next 4 stitches and then do a single crochet decrease. And repeat another 2 times for 3 times in total. Okay, so then for round 9, we want to single crochet in each stitch around. So we'll start with 15 stitches and end with 15 stitches. So again, just single crochet in each stitch. Okay, so on to round 10. So round 10 is where we're going to have our bobble stitches. So we'll still have 15 stitches by the end of the round, but we're going to do bobble stitches for the eyes. So to begin, we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to place a bobble stitch in our next stitch. So we want to yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over through 2. So you want to repeat those little steps there another 4 times. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2. So 3 more times, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, 2. Okay, so now that I have 6 loops on my hook, I want to yarn over and go through all 6 loops on the hook. I'm going to tighten that down a little bit, not too tight so that your yarn snaps though. Push over the pieces of your bobble stitch to make sure that you're working in the next stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in our next 3 stitches. Okay, then we need to do our next bobble stitch. So again, you want to yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook, over, pull up a loop, yarn over, through 2. 3 more times. Again, all of these parts are being worked into the same stitch. Okay, and then now I have 6 loops on my hook, so I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. Tighten it down, push over my stitch a little bit to make sure I'm working in the next stitch. And then we want to single crochet in the last 9 stitches of our round. Okay, next up is round 11. Now round 11, we're going to have increases and decreases, but we're going to have equal amounts of each, so we will actually end up with still having 15 stitches. So what this is going to do is just kind of make the octopus sort of sit back on a bit of an angle. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to start by doing a single crochet decrease and then single crocheting in the next stitch. We'll start by repeating that 3 times. So again, do your decrease. I'm doing an invisible decrease. So you can take a look at my beginner videos for more detail on how to do that. And then we're just single crocheting in the stitch after that. Repeat that 2 more times. Okay, and then what we want to do is we're going to add some increases. So we're going to place 2 single crochets in our next stitch and then just 1 single crochet in the stitch after that, and we'll repeat that 3 times. So 2 single crochets in this stitch, single crochet in the next, 2 single crochets in this stitch, and 1 in the next, 2 single crochets, and then just 1 in your last stitch. Okay, so see how that kind of pulls in this front bit and pushes out the back? It just makes the octopus sit on a bit of an angle once you've got the tentacles on. Okay, so on to round 12. Round 12 is an increase round, and it's so that we can get up to 16 stitches. So right now we're at 15. We want to get up to 16 because that'll make a nice even number for when we're adding our tentacles on. So to do that, we're going to single crochet in the next 10 stitches. Okay, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the last 4 stitches. So that puts our increase near the back of our octopus. Okay, so on to round 13. So round 13, before we get started on that, there's a note there talking about the front loop only. So when we are working the front loop in this round, we're only going to be working it in the 1 stitch that it refers to. So you'll see front loop only, FLO, and then you'll see a bunch of stitches within brackets. So that means that everything within the brackets is going to be worked in that 1 front loop. So we'll work off from that front loop and then come back and finish with that same front loop. Okay, so for our first tentacle, we're going to work in just the front loop of our stitch. And so each stitch has a front loop and a back loop. That they're what make up the V shape at the top. So we're going to work in this front loop, like I said, but then this back loop here, we're going to use that in the next round to be able to continue working in the continuous rounds. Okay, so let's make our first tentacle. We want to start with a slip stitch in just that front loop, and then we're going to chain 14. Okay, so again, you chained 14 out here, and then beginning in the second chain from the hook, you want to place 2 single crochets and then a single crochet. So we're going to increase and then place 1 single crochet, and we'll repeat that 6 times down the chain. So again, 2 single crochet and then just 1 single crochet. Repeat that all the way down the chain, so 6 times, and then in that last chain you'll do a single crochet. So, and this is what will give our tentacles their curl. And then we'll finish up our tentacle by placing a slip stitch in that same front loop that we started our tentacle in. Okay, and then what we want to do is place a single crochet in the next stitch. So we will repeat this whole section, the tentacle plus the single crochet, a total of 8 times. So we need 7 more tentacles. So again, you're going to go in your front loop, you're going to chain 14, and then beginning in the second chain from the hook, you're going to place 2 single crochet stitches and then a single crochet. And repeat that 6 times down, and then add another single crochet. Okay, and then once you get back down to the body, you want to place a slip stitch in that same front loop, and then you're going to go and make a single crochet stitch in your next stitch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish these off camera. So again, you're going to chain 14, well, slip stitch in the front loop of your next stitch, chain 14, then beginning in the second chain from your hook, place 2 single crochets and then a single crochet in the next chain, and repeat that 6 times down your tentacle, and then place a single crochet in the last chain and slip stitch in the front loop, and then single crochet in the stitch after that. So repeat that another 6 times, and then when we come back, we will start round 14 together. Okay, so here I am at the end of round 13, and just before I start round 14, I want to show you the stitch count that I have listed. So the stitch count at the end of round 13 says that there are 8 single crochet stitches. So those are the stitches that are in between your tentacles, but also that there are 8 back loops. So those are the ones here on the inside of the tentacles. So those 16 stitches, the 8 single crochets and the 8 back loops, are the ones we're going to work into for round 14 here. So we will begin by single crocheting in the back loop of our next stitch, and then we're going to find the single crochet here and single crochet into that as well, and then we'll repeat that 8 times in total, so we'll still have 16 stitches when we're done this round. So again, single crochet into the back loop of your next stitch, and then single crochet into the next single crochet stitch. Okay, so once you've completed this round, just go ahead and double check that you still have 16 stitches. And then before we start our final round, we're going to go ahead and add in the eyes and a bit of stuffing. So for the eyes, you want to place your safety eyes on round 10 of the head. So that is in these bobble stitches here. So I usually place them around the center of the bobble stitch, like facing a little bit down towards the bottom of your animal, like a little bit towards the tentacles. But you can place them in there however you like. And I don't put the backs on right away. I like to make sure that everything's sitting the way I want before I add the backs in. So I'm going to leave them like that. And then I'm going to secure them with the backs. So secure your safety eyes however you'd like. And if you are embroidering eyes on later, you can mark where the safety eyes would have gone. With the octopus, it's a little bit obvious just because of the bobble stitches. But in general, I always recommend to mark where the safety eyes would have gone so that you know where to embroider your stitches. So there we go. We've got our safety eyes in here. And then we're going to add a bit of stuffing. So you don't need to stuff these guys too full. But enough to help them hold their shape. Okay, so let's begin round 15. So round 15 is a decrease round, and we are going to decrease all the way around. So we'll decrease 8 times in total. So we'll start with 16 stitches and end with 8 stitches. So again, do a single crochet decrease all the way around. So you're repeating it 8 times. When you complete this round, if you want, you can add a little bit more stuffing. But otherwise, you want to end off by slip stitching to the next stitch and then leave about 8 inches or so of yarn just to cinch up the bottom. Go. And then I'm just going up the front loops to cinch it up. And we'll just finish up here by tying a little knot and pushing the yarn up through the body. And then the last little detail that we have left is a bit of eye highlights or eye embroidery. So to do that, you just want to grab 12 inches of worsted weight. And then all we're going to do is we're going to come up through the bottom here, and we're going to get as close to the bottom center of the eye as we can. Come up here. And then we're going to go down the top center area of the eye. We're just going to come out down here just below the eye so we can get a better angle once we are working on that eye. Pull tight and hold it in place and pull from both sides. And then we're going to go under, make sure we're coming up as close to the center bottom part of the eye as possible. And then around the outside and down the top center here. And then ideally you want to come out down here, but you may need another step in there to get to this part. Okay. And then tighten it. And then to finish it, you just want to tie off here. I just tie a little knot. And then push my yarn through into the body. There we go. Okay, so that's it. There's our little jelly bean octopus. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye for now.